So the next important question is, how do I make my fins? All right. And the answer to the question is you first need to make a template. And a template is just either a piece of paper, but it's a little bit better if it has some thickness to it, some sturdiness. So I used a thin piece of cardboard here. And the goal is to have the dimensions of your fin be whatever the dimensions were in your open rocket program that maximize the height of your rocket. You don't have to use those dimensions, but that's ideal because you already did that work of finding out which fin design actually creates the highest rocket. So why not use that? But I will not take off points if you don't decide to ultimately go with that design. Once you have your fin design template, then you are going to lay it down on your balsa wood. Okay, so that's the long sheet of wood that you received in your lab kit. All right. Then you can use a pen or a pencil just to trace along the edges of your template and do that 3 or 4 more times, however many fins you decided to have. Do that again, right? And then you want to use the X-Acto knife in your lab kit. So the X-Acto knife is a small little hobby knife. It's not the best knife. In order to give lab kits to everybody, we needed to skimp out on the costs. So it's not amazing. And if you have better tools, then I totally recommend you use those better tools. But the best way to cut something out from balsa wood that is not with tools that are not ideal is to score a little bit at a time. So in other words, insert the hobby knife and don't necessarily just go whoosh, but like kind of score it. Do little indentations along the way, right? And then do a whole line to score it. And then you'll see that it gets a little bit weak. You can actually bend the wood around it, and almost once you score out all the area around the fin, you can actually kind of snap it out of place. All right. So you may ask, well, after I cut all these out and I snap it into place, their edges are kind of jagged and nasty, right? So there's a really cool tool to fix that too, right? So here's all my fins. Imagine these are made of balsa wood, right? I want to stack them up with each other, right? There's fuzzy edges, there's roughness, but I want to stack them up with each other, right? And as long as they're all generally the same size, then they're going to stack all nicely like this, okay? Then what we can do is take a piece of sandpaper, lay this down on the sandpaper like this, and just go back and forth like this. And you'll see that a little trail of sawdust start to form as you wear down the rough edges of these fins. Okay, so just do that, do that, do that, until it's so smooth that it looks like it's all one piece. All right, and then you do that with the next side, right? Stack them all up. Go ahead, sand it like this. Wait till it's so smooth they all look like the same piece, and then finally do it with the last side as well. Sand, 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 until it all looks like the same piece. And then you have 3 or 4, however many, beautiful identical fins that you can attach to the edge of your rocket. Now, one thing that some of you may have experimented with to increase the altitude of your rocket was actually sanding the leading edge, so the edge that actually feels the force of the wind as the rocket's flying up. Some of you like rounded that on your program, or some of you actually like sanded it off to like an angle, which you can still do, and I actually encourage you to do it because you will get some more altitude out of your rocket. And that's about it. That's about it. So if you either round these edges or cut it sand it at an angle, then you would just attach this side then to the edge of your rocket like this, and then that's going to help this cut through the air. All right, in the next video, we're going to talk a little bit more about how you actually find out where you attach the fins to the rocket and how you glue them. All right, we'll see you there.